been like maybe a week or two since we did that live stream showing the framing going up on day one, and since then it almost looks done. Is that safe to say that we're almost at the finish line in terms of framing?
No, yeah, we're almost at the finish line. And actually, today makes 2 weeks since we started framing. Exactly.
2 weeks. I think you guys were like, initially when I asked you guys, you were like, oh, maybe a month. I think you estimated about a month. So these guys have just been flying through it.
Yeah, luckily, Juan, our subcontractor, brought in like 10 guys the first week, that's like the easiest way of doing it with that many people. But erecting the structure is like the easiest part of it. It's all the tiny details that slows us down. So the shear wall, installing all the hangers, all the 835s, the nailing pattern for the plywood for shear, all those little details are what slow us down. And that's what we spent the last week and a half working on, really.
Before we continue, thanks to Helix Sleep for sponsoring this video. God forbid my house ever caught fire again, knock on wood, the first piece of furniture I'd try to save is my Helix Sleep mattress. There was a time when tossing and turning in the middle of the night and waking up half-rested were just part of my daily routine, and it sucked. The energy and focus I have today, thanks to this mattress, has been the biggest quality of life upgrade I've had since the house fire. My mattress is the Midnight Lux, but you can take their brief sleep quiz online to find the best mattress for you, and you don't even have to touch grass to buy one. Just order online, and Helix delivers right to your door with free shipping in the US. They've really nailed down their packaging method too, making this one of the easiest unboxings I've ever done. I also use their new Comfort Adjust cooling pillow that can be customized to support any sleeping position and preference. The pillow features heat-conductive fabric if you tend to run hot like I do, and the shredded memory foam is super comfy. It supports my head and neck just how I like it, because again, it's customizable. To learn more, visit helixsleep.com/bitwit to take advantage of their 4th of July sale and get 20% off site-wide. Thanks again to Helix Sleep for sponsoring this one. Now back to the video.
So what are they working on right now? What's going to take us to the finish line here?
Today is just like the last little details we have left to do. So I'm gonna go around, double check all the anchor bolts, that they're all tightened down nice and tight. I'm gonna go around and make sure all the plywood, there's no shiners sticking out. So shiners is when the head of the nail sticks past the wood. We're gonna check all those. We got a few hangers that we have left to install. You and I are gonna go over all the placements one more time of where you want your TV, so I can put wood blocking in. And I've got some extra blocking going in for if you ever want to do curtains or whatever around there. Little stuff like that I'm getting done now, because tomorrow we have an inspection for the framing and the roof. Might be Inspector Joseph again, might be someone else depending on their schedule. So that's what we're preparing for right now.
What's the, I saw like underneath the shear wall for the roofing that there's this like tech shield, silver stuff. What are those tech shield panels?
That's your thermal plywood. So on one side, it's got a thermal-reflective film that they put on it to help keep out, heat from the sun. And it's one of the layers that we're doing from when we do your insulation. That's like the first layer. Well, shingles, vapor barrier, the plywood with the thermal barrier, and then we do the insulation. And your house is gonna actually have 2 ceiling or roof insulation areas. Your roof gets insulated, and then your actual ceilings inside your house get insulated with the walls. And then we're going that extra step of doing all the internal walls with rock wool insulation for the sound dampening and the added R value.
It seems like it's been pretty smooth sailing for the framing process. We did hit a couple snags, a couple questions that we needed answered, like the windows, the skylights that we were initially going to have in the kitchen, and then we realized we weren't going to be able to do that as easily as we thought because of the roof lines, right? The roof lines.
Yeah, the pitch of the roof didn't land in location that you wanted to have your skylight. So instead of having to redo the roof and repitch it and having to have those details updated to the county, slowing us down, we, I think, ended up getting rid of those windows, because we're going to have a bunch of natural light anyways, and we are adding 2 more windows, the transom windows over your main windows in the...
Yeah, that's really going to help flood the entire space with natural light, especially because the common spaces are so much more open concept than they were before. So the large windows in the living room are definitely going to bleed into the kitchen and the other areas. And we also have 3 massive windows in the kitchen now that weren't there before.
Exactly. So I feel a little bit better about that, because the more penetrations in a roof, the more likely it's going to leak at some point. And I don't think I've ever heard of a single skylight in existence that didn't leak. So it's for me, it's better not to have the skylights, but if you end up wanting to do them later on, we can. It's just we'll have to accommodate the existing pitch
The other windows that we were talking about even recently were the transom windows that are directly above that large patio door. We were kind of debating, because Mel and I initially were considering a decorative beam going all the way down the, what is that, the spine of the roof? What do you call it? What's the terminology?
The ridge?
The ridge of the roof. And that would have meant shrinking those transom windows a little bit, and that would have thrown off some of the proportions with the door beneath it. But Mel and I eventually decided that we're probably going to do a couple beams going the other way, perpendicular, going across the slope of the roof. And that way we can just leave the transom windows the size that they are.
And we also canceled 2 of the windows in your living room, the ones by the TV.
Right.
Because you guys decided maybe too much. Kind of limits what you can do with the walls on the side of the TV.
Exactly.
But I am going to set it up so that way in the future, if you change your mind again and you decide I do want those windows back, we can do that easily by cutting open the stucco, or before we stucco, we can have that in, because we already have the openings cut out, plywooded out, everything's already installed. So I'm just going to fill in those voids with the plywood we cut out for it, and the 2x that I'm going to screw in. So that way in the future, we can just unscrew it if you want to and pop in some windows.
Yeah.
You'll have the option there in the future, but for right now, we're closing them up.
And then after framing, we go to plumbing. Is it plumbing and
So after framing inspection, we're going to get a partial pass. So we won't be allowed to put in drywall yet, because we still need to do all the rough plumbing inside the walls, all the rough mechanical, which is your exhaust for your exhaust hoods from your kitchen, the bathroom fans. We have to do all the electrical, run all the outlets and everything, get that going. Once we pop in the windows, when they come in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to call for final inspection on the wood framing, so we can start doing stuff like stucco or drywall after we pass the rough plumbing, electrical, mechanical, and we get the okay to close up the walls. So that should all happen around the same time the windows arrive.
Cool. So then I guess the framers will be here for maybe, what, another couple days, you think?
No, we'll be done today, because we have inspection tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, today's our last day.
Wow.
We don't have like a lot left there. Right now they're going around just doing the last bit of blocking and securing all the straps, and then me and my guys are doing the same, going around buttoning up everything, checking all the anchor bolts, and then at the end of the day I'm gonna spray the entire exterior and interior of your house, all the wood framing, about 4 feet down with boric care.
So yeah, you did mention that earlier, that we're seeing ants now. There's some ants in the house. They've made themselves at home.
They've entered a little bit. You know, we have disturbed the sand, the soil around them, so they're coming out. And since it is a wood structure, I know a lot of your fans are like, why are you building it with wood? Wood's still a stable product. It's renewable product. With the boric care, we're sprayed out. It'll help keep termites away, keep insects away. It's just a layer of protection. Later on, like I recommended to you last week, we'll treat the soil around the exterior of the property as well. As soon as we, conclude most of the disturbing of the soil, we still have your driveway left to do. We still have to get rid of this mountain over here and slope it to graded to your driveway needs. You bring your drone?
I did bring the drone.
Yeah, you can get some cool shots from up there.
Yeah.
I can also, I'm gonna go up there. I don't know.
Can I go up there? Is it too risky? I don't have to. I was just curious.
You can go up here, not there. You can go up here with me,
Okay.
and you'll be fine. But we can go up there.
One reason I want to go up there, and you're CC'd on this email thread that I was replying to last night, is with Ubiquity, because they're planning to send some security cameras, but one in particular has a 31x optical zoom that if we mount it on the roof and aim it at the cityscape, then I can actually have that feed on like a decorative TV in the house, where I could just have a live view of downtown.
I wouldn't put it on the roof, but I would put it maybe over here, look.
Oh, I see. So it'd still be way up high.
It'll still be way up high, yeah. I just don't want any penetrations coming from the roof. Like, we
Right.
can nail it. I can put some wood blocking behind the fascia board.
That actually works better.
Yeah, because if you ever decide I want to take this out and you've just screwed into your roof,
Right.
then we got to fix that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're not putting it on the roof, we're putting it on the fascia.
And the camera, you probably haven't seen it yet, but it's huge. It's not like a small camera. It's like the size of your torso. It's a fat
God
camera.
damn.
It's huge. So but I think because of the higher ceilings here, and that is a pretty high spot. I mean, it's gonna stick
Yeah,
out,
that's
but at
the
least
highest
it's on,
point in your house.
at least it's on the highest point of the house, and that would also be high enough to definitely clear the neighbor next door.
Probably. We'll see when we go up there. Actually, you want to go up there right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me get a ladder. I just want to be very clear. Homeowners should typically not go on top of their house, but you have your own workers' comp because you're self-employed.
Yeah.
This is your thing. I don't recommend homeowners go on their roof. I do recommend that the homeowners inspect their contractors' work on roofs.
Okay.
How they do that, you either have to get up there or someone has to go up there and inspect it for you.
Right.
You should always double check your contractor's work. But I don't recommend homeowners just willy-nilly jump on a roof. Just got to be clear about that.
Yeah. A
All
lot
right.
of risks.
Yeah, but here, follow me.
All right. And on that note, let's go on the roof.
All right. You're going to give me the camera because you're going to climb up, and when you climb up a ladder,
Yeah.
you hold on to both sides of the ladder.
Okay.
You slide your hands up. You never let go. Don't ever use the rungs here. You
Gotcha.
grab this way.
Just the sides.
Yeah.
All right.
And go up, keep going up, keep going up. Yeah. Never jump 2 rungs. Never jump 2 rungs.
Okay.
But this is what I mean. So these straps right here,
Yeah.
all of these have to go spaced out a particular distance, and they go into the 2x10s that are nailed down.
I see.
So I'm gonna come up here and look. See, I have one right here.
Right.
It's a shiner.
Does that mean it's sticking out?
It's sticking out.
Right.
So I'm gonna come by and hit these with a hammer
Gotcha.
just to make sure. They pop out because the wood has been exposed. It's been
Oh.
it's been out. It rained the other day, a little humid.
Yeah.
So sometimes they get pushed out. So we just tap them back in.
Gotcha.
And we
Okay.
do that again right before we lay down the roof membrane
Right.
to make sure that they don't stick out.
Wow. If you look right down the center here, right between those 2 big trees, you can see it's a little foggy today, but you can see the city skyline of downtown. And if we could get a camera, that giant Ubiquity camera, it's like a PZT, if we could aim it straight down there and actually get a clear view of that, I mean, at night it would be incredible. Because the zoom on this camera is wild. The image quality is wild as well, even at that zoom.
If you wanted to put it up here,
Yeah.
usually, because I've done projector screens on top of like buildings or houses,
Yeah.
we do a platform.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if we mounted it up here, I mean, the higher up the better ideally for something like that because it's a pan tilt zoom camera. It goes 360, and with that zoom, I could really just look. I mean, I could look at a license plate and identify it from 600 feet away. Obviously, the better vantage point you have, the more visibility you have. This is honestly an idea that I've had long before the house burned down. So if there was ever a time to make that happen, I feel like it would be now, while the house is being built.
Well, once it arrives, we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Or let me look at the email and look at the specs sheet.
Yeah, just let me know.
All right, we'll do.
We'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, this is your roof.
This is,
You own this plywood.
yeah,
The proud owner of a plywood roof.
I know.
We got the future site of a pool or an ADU back there.
Yeah, honestly, I think what you were saying might work out if we put the ADU to the left side, like behind that roof line. And
Yeah.
then maybe, to take up less space, we could go 2-story.
I would go 2-story.
That way we have more room here. We have all this room for maybe a pool. I don't know yet.
And then you see that nail over there?
Oh, yeah.
One sticking out. That's a shiner for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure they were using it as a spacer, but like you still got to take care of it.
for sure.
You wanna get down?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, come on this way.
I think we've been up here long enough. Oh, back on solid ground. Feels good.
Yeah.
Got a casualty?
Kind of feeling a little emotional.
What is
The-
that? What tool is that?
It's a reciprocating saw technically, but everyone calls it a sawzall. I've had it for about 10 years, and your house killed it. Like it sounds like it wants to give a go, but it doesn't.
Oh, so it is making some sound?
Yeah, but I think it's like jammed up.
Don't put your hand on the blade. Making me nervous.
Hold on. I need a hammer. Here we go. My theory is that it's just jammed from years and years of not oiling it.
Is 10 years like a good run, or should it not die that quick?
No, that's a good run for this one, and I'm almost certain I didn't pay for this thing. I got it probably like on a Black Friday deal. Nah, that was my theory that it got jammed, but I think I got this one in like 2017 or something like that.
Damn. Oh, what was that?
Hold on.
Maybe you got a blow in it like a Nintendo cartridge.
I think it just needs oil. Hold on.
When in doubt, bang on it. Also
No.
testing the house durability.
Nah, see.
It's dead, Jim. I'm guessing it's not under manufacturer's warranty anymore.
No, and the way we've used it, I avoided the warranty so many times.
You don't think it's the battery, do you?
No, this battery's fully charged. We used it right now on the skill saw.
All right.
I might get it fixed. I don't know. I'm not that emotionally attached to it, but I don't like buying new tools.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but it's like not because I want to, not because I have to,
Yeah. Well, we may have to pour one out for the homie.
right?
Rest in peace.
Would you know my name?
That sucks. All right. Well,
He had a good run.
yeah. If anyone wants me to ship it to them, enter the contest now for a broken Sawzall.
It's a piece of history.
Free giveaway.
A couple things I want to mention before we close this out. Kitchen appliances. I have to choose my kitchen appliances relatively soon, and I don't know where to go, where to turn for that. I'm looking at a bunch of different brands. If you guys have any experience with your own appliances that you've been using for a period of time, please let me know how that's been for you. Would you recommend them and why? Because I'm just at a loss. There's so many options. So please, any kind of recommendations or advice you can give me on that would be super helpful. Also, quick update on the car. The car is still damaged. As you can see, I'm still driving it. But I'm dropping it off next Tuesday. I'm dropping it off to get repairs. They're going to assess the damage and all that. Insurance is covering it. The other thing is that live stream. Aaron and I are going to do another live stream next week. We don't know what it's going to be yet, what we're going to do. We're still planning that out, but it's going to happen next week. So probably towards the end of the week, I would imagine maybe a Thursday or a Friday. So stay tuned for more details on that. But that's pretty much it for me on this one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, subscribe to Alvaro. Subscribe to Alvaro, Red Fox Construction Inc. Red Fox Construction Inc. Follow him on YouTube and Instagram. He's been posting more lately, and I think he even posted a video of him wakeboarding over 4th of July weekend. So that's fun. He's having fun out there. So again, thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good one. I will see you all next time.